Welcome once again to Let's Talk Marriage. This is Pastor Larry coming to you this Wednesday afternoon. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you're having a blessed day. If you woke up this morning, you are having a blessed day. Again, welcome to Let's Talk Marriage. I'm Pastor Larry. We're going to be getting right on into our subject. Our subject on today is helping out in the household. Sometimes this is a subject that's real touchy with couples, because sometimes one expect the other one to do more than the other one does, and sometimes it'll come up in an argument. Oh, I did this, and you don't do nothing with your lazy self. That's some of the terms you don't use in a marriage. You never call the other one lazy. You're lazy and you're nasty. No, you don't do that. Because first of all, it's going to cause an argument, it's going to cause a conflict, and you're going to be going head to head, and then it's just going to escalate. So I wouldn't even do that. I wouldn't even go there. But as a result, when you are doing a household, it's important that everyone in the household pitches in, because if everyone in the household pitches in, it makes it a lot easier, and not one person is doing all the chores. And fellas, make sure that we are taking the garbage out, because sometimes the garbage might get heavy. You don't want your wife taking the garbage out, and sometimes, especially if you have to take it out at night, make sure that you take it out, or you teach your sons to take the garbage out. So when they get married, or they'll know to say the same thing. They'll practice the same thing. They'll make sure they take the garbage out. And as far as washing dishes, don't say I don't wash them. There's nothing wrong with washing dishes. So you see, some of these things you have to make it fun, especially you couples that don't have any children. You just got married. You can always make that fun. You can go wash the dishes, put some high heels on and some cologne, and go in there. So I'm going to wash the dishes. So watch it and see if your husband's gonna come in and wash the dishes with you. Or whatever else other chores you're trying to do. Watch, he'll come in and help you out. He might be sitting there watching a ball game or something, and you walk by there with your stilettos on. Just keep walking back and forth. And next thing, oh, you need help in that? I got you, baby. I got you. So you have to be wise and never complain a lot. Either wife or husband, don't do a lot of complaining. Oh, you left the toilet seat up. Well, if you've been married a certain number of years, you ought to know better than leaving the toilet seat up in the first place. So, that's the worst. What she ought to do is leave it up on you one day. You go in there, sit on there, see what it feels like. But make sure we don't complain about each other. You don't do nothing. I do all the stuff around here. You just don't do that. Because when you do that, it might get done, but it'll get done reluctantly, and it might not get done right. So make sure that you're not complaining when you're settled down, and you might want to have a discussion. And don't make it sound like it's one of them discussions. Oh, I need to talk to you. Like one of those. Because when you do that, what's going on? What's up? What up? Because then the other parties are gonna get on the defense. What? So you saying that I leave it up like that on purpose? Or you saying I don't take the garbage out because what you trying to say? I work hard. You don't want to go. Because then when he goes say I work hard, then you gonna say I work hard too, sucker. You don't want that. Because a lot of times these arguments that we have, if it's not finance, it's something around the house. And when your wife asks you to do something, it's not that she's commanding you to do something. If you're not going to do it right away, just say I'll do it in a minute. Just give me a minute now, I'll get it done. But don't let it be weeks go by. You were supposed to put up this paper towel holder, and she got it a couple weeks ago, and it's still just sitting there. What are you doing? Just put the thing up. It takes, 2 seconds? Now, if you don't want to put it up, get one of the ones you just stand on and put the paper towels on. Yeah, you have to be smart about this. And a lot of times we just cause arguments or cause conflicts in the marriage. and make sure that we are helping out, especially when both are working. Make sure that garbage taken out, we cover that. Uh, going back to try not to complain, because if you start complaining, then you're gonna start complaining to other people about him. Oh, he don't do nothing around there. I be trying and he don't do nothing, and then it just goes from one thing to the other. So make sure that you're not doing that where you complaining and he's complaining about you. Yeah, you left hair all over the sink. I don't like no hair on the sink. What's wrong with you, woman? If you see it on there, just clean it off. Just clean it off. It would take 2 seconds. And fellas, when you come home, when any of you come home, when you take your coat off, you have to make sure you hang your coat up. And sometimes we'll just come in, just take the coat and just throw it anywhere. Or take your shoes off and leave them anywhere. Just make sure you are helping. And then you'll complain about, oh, the house ain't clean. And it's just dirt around here. Look at the dust. Look at the dust, baby. Just dust. No. If you see the dust, dust it. Don't sit there and complain about it. And that's what we fellas like to do. We like to complain about everything. Especially if the meal ain't the way you think of. Yeah, my mama can cook. My mama, she put a little more onions in there. Yeah, no, you don't do that. Just eat it. And be thankful. Because how many wives now that that takes the time to even cook? So if you got one that takes the time to cook, you ought to be grateful. Because I know my wife takes the time. She cooks every day. If I don't cook, she cooks. And most of the time she cook fabulous meals, and I enjoy it. So I always make sure I made it a practice to tell her thank you for the meal. So now my daughter have started saying that when she prepares a meal, she always thank her mother for preparing the meal. So we have to make sure that we are working together in these households and not working against each other. Because that's one of the main things that causes conflicts in a marriage, when you're working against each other, when you're constantly complaining. And stop that, because some people just complain about everything. Oh, the bed wasn't made right. It didn't look right. You didn't iron my shirt right. If the shirt wasn't ironed right, iron it yourself. If you think it should have so many creases in it and so much starch in it, do it yourself. But it's going to take 2 seconds. Oh, I asked you a week ago to put, she might be too busy to put a button on your shirt. Back in the day when we went to school, the guys took home ec, so you knew how to sew a button on. But I had learned from my mom and my grandmother how to, sew little simple things like put a button on a shirt, hem some pants, instead of taking them, having them done. I learned how to cut them and hem them myself. My wife never have to do that because I already know how to do it, so I don't even ask her to do that. And as far as ironing shirt, if I think the shirt needs ironing, I just iron it myself. I ain't gonna sit there and say, oh, this shirt, and put it on the ironing board. Yeah, that shirt need ironing, babe. Yeah. And you come back a few minutes later, it still ain't ironed, you got attitude. Because you got a wrinkled shirt. Just put on a wrinkled shirt if you don't want to iron. All right. And then the kids, make sure that you don't worry your mama. That, mama this, mama that, mama. Do it yourself sometimes. You know what? If you know your mama like coffee, fix her some coffee sometimes. Mama, fix you a cup of coffee. Because with the Keurig, you ain't even got to know how to make coffee. You just put the thing in there. And it's fine. So a lot of things have been made easy for the household. So make sure that we are doing that and make sure that we are working together in our households. Because, again, that causes so many conflicts. If you sitting around looking at your husband because you think he's sloppy and because he comes on, takes his old dirty socks off and throw them on the floor instead of put a hamper right there and you take them and throw them over. Come on, fella. And your socks just be, because when you throw them over there, they just stand up because they just stand up by the hamper. So make sure that we are being courtesy, that's part of working together as a household. Because if you practice courtesy in your household, you would know that when you come in, you take the socks off, you just put them in a hamper. Even if you don't have to wash them, at least put them in a hamper. And if your wife is washing the clothes, give her a hand. Say, okay, if you wash them, I'll fold them up. Do something, help her out. Don't see us just sitting there struggling, sweating, and folding up the clothes and trying to cook a meal at the same time. You just sitting there looking at the news or watching a game. Yeah, no, come on. Sit there watching a game like, yeah, I got to see this game. It's gonna be a good game. Make it a family thing. If your wife likes some kind of sports, or she wants to, or if you want to be involved with your husband, watch a game or two with him sometimes. But just tell him, if you help me do this, I'll sit down and watch the game with you, and then you'll fix some snacks or something while they're watching the game, and just make it a couples thing or a family thing. And pick a team. Even though you might have one team, he might like the other team, but make it an event. Don't make it something where he watching that game again. Look at it. They ain't gonna get his attention because he watching that game. There's other ways you can get his attention. Join him in watching the game. And if your wife like to go to the mall or something, go to the mall with her sometime. Don't say, I don't like going to the mall, walking around that mall, spending up all my money. No, just go to the mall with her and walk around the mall. You have a good time. Because it's not that many malls left as it is. But make sure you go to the mall with her. You can have lunch there, and sometimes there's usually a theater there. You might want to catch a movie or something. But make it a family event that you working together and being with you. And again, I had mentioned, we had one segment, we were talking about going to church with your spouse. Make sure you are attending church with your spouse, going to the mall. And I had mentioned once before that I don't really like going to the grocery store, but I'll go every once in a while with my wife, especially if she's getting groceries for an occasion or something. I'll go with her and stuff. And it's not that bad. If you don't like a grocery store per se, this is my suggestion. Suggest to her, oh, let's go to Walmart. That way, if she in the grocery store or Walmart, if you want to go look at the electronics, or the kids want to go look at the toys, you can take them over there and look at the toys while the wife does the shopping, so you won't be distracting her and whining, kids whining and stuff. Take them over and look at the toys or something like that, because in the Walmart, you got everything there. So and you might even find yourself something. So make sure that you suggest that if you don't like grocery stores per se. That's why I don't mind going if we go to Walmart or Target or something like that. I don't mind, or even Myers or something. I don't mind when we do that. But make sure that we are working together. And when you do that, it makes your household stronger. It makes your marriage stronger when you, because when she talked to her friend, she gonna say, yeah. My husband, he just been a big help. That's the best compliment you can hear from your wife when she's talking to her friends, and she says, "Oh, my husband is such a big help," or "My children are such a big help." Because it's a lot of times men don't want to do nothing. They just sit there and watch the game, and no, you got to do more than that. And a lot of times we'll let them go off to church by themselves. Stop doing it. Go at least, if you don't go with them all the time, go with them sometime. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but if they go to church on a regular basis, at least go with them sometime. And then that way, and on the Sundays that you go, make it a family event. I've always said to make it a family event. Take them out to dinner after church, or take them visiting, or go for a Sunday drive. We used to do that years ago. You go to for a Sunday drive, and it doesn't cost anything to go for a Sunday drive. And you might, go somewhere where it's real photographic, where you real scenic. Take a scenic route somewhere, and just enjoy each other's company and enjoy being with each other. And again, when you're helping out in the household, make sure it's a 50-50 thing. Make sure you're pulling your weight as well as her. And don't expect your wife to do everything. pick up your socks, wash your clothes, wash the dishes, cook the meal, and she getting up going to work the same time you do, or even working later or harder than you do. Make sure that you're helping out in the household. Make sure you set aside some time to complete projects around the household. You can just do them at your own pace, but make sure they get done. Number one is saying you have to do them all, because it's good to sit down and relax, but make sure that you both are at that point where you both can sit down together and relax. Where one is relaxing, the other one's doing something. You ain't gonna help me? No, make sure you both are working together, and then you both can sit down and relax. This is Pastor Larry. I'm going to be signing off. And once again, thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk Marriage. Oh, yes. Have yourself a blessed week. Until we see you, I'll see you when I see you. To all my friends down south, God bless you.